What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 184 with Keaton Veillette. You might recognize Keaton from the full wedge ads. That's what we got on right now. Full wedge, essential windbreaker. It's windy out here right now. I'm just about to go play some golf. It's just an essential piece to add to anybody's wardrobe. You get it right here at fullwedgegolf.com. This is such a cool episode to get into the life of a pro golfer. Injuries, prep, tournament prep, travel, everything that you need to know about golf. And one of the things that Keaton needs is some gear to be able to wear to the courses. So if you're in the same as Keaton and myself, head over to fullwedgegolf.com. They got the new Master drop and the new Toronto drop, and one upcoming by the end of fullwedgegolf.com. Use the promo code OTS, or just in the bottom of the show notes of the episode, you can find the direct link, OTS for 20% off.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
All right, yeah,
We're out here.
we're out here at Uptown Golf in Oshawa. It's pretty cool. Good little setup. We've had a few here now. Keaton, we haven't done a live one. Thanks for making the trip, man.
Of course. A little rip down the 401.
We're into episode number 180 something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I looked back at ours, so it's been like 20 months since we had you on. So let's treat this one like a new one. Can you
20 months.
Yeah. I didn't think it'd have been that long either.
What was I doing? I was sitting on my balcony in Florida
I think so.
after coming back from a tournament, sweaty. Yeah, it's great.
I think you had a minor, like you were playing the minor league tour at that stage, and I think it was like November, because we had talked about Bryce was going down just after Christmas.
That's right.
So I think it was like late November, maybe early December. Did you stay down there right through the season? Like right through Christmas?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was there till March, April.
But yeah, can you give us like an intro, Keaton, kind of who you are, for anybody who doesn't know you?
I am Keaton Veillette. I am a professional golfer.
Really,
Well,
Keaton? I just wanted you to pronounce your last name before I went for it.
Veillette, not Veillette. Well, I've heard it all. Playing hockey, heard Valentine, which doesn't make sense, but
The guy just gave up. Just
pretty
like,
much.
I can't do it.
But yeah, I play pro golf. Well, I attempt to, but I'm here now. I live in Toronto. Was in California this year. A little switch up in the winter. Usually I'm in Florida, but wanted to see some different scenery, play some different events. Played some Asher Tour events this year, which is a hell of a tour for a mini tour. But yeah, just grinding, living the dream, no complaints.
Now, like I said, when we were talking last time, it was shortly after PGA Tour Canada COVID season.
Yeah,
So into the next summer, fall was when we chatted.
yeah.
So can you kind of catch us up to what you've been doing maybe since then?
Yeah. Oh, geez, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I played PGA Canada during COVID, and then didn't get status the next year. Grinded on the mini tours. Had a couple injuries. Had some nerve damage in my right arm, which wasn't fun to go through. Had a lot of 4 right golf balls off the tee. Dealt with that. Changed the swing a little bit. Played some more mini tour events. Then went to Europe and played DP World Tour Q School. I guess, well, I did that the first time after we talked, and then I went again this year. Or last year, I guess. Did that. Grinded some mini tour events before and after that. Then did Q School last year out in Sweden again. Big fan of Sweden.
Yeah. That's where, like, if I were going to go, I feel like I'd want to go out to Sweden. I feel like I'd want to check it out that way.
It's very, what's the word? It's very similar to Toronto in a sense of, I don't know, city-wise. It's a lot cooler, like a lot more history and
Yeah.
built nicer. If that's,
Brycer's brother's playing hockey there right now. The middle one is in Sweden playing hockey. And I feel like, he played in the American League and East Coast League, kind of was bouncing back up and forth, like up and down. I think ultimately he made the decision to go play in Sweden.
Yeah.
I think that would be such an amazing experience, right? Like if you're,
for sure.
if you're at that point where they're like, okay, I don't know if it's like an NHL thing or whatever, or you have the opportunity to go, Sweden's like the place where I would want to go.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Besides 46% tax or something like that. Crazy. It's
Okay.
like it's a socialist.
That's almost as bad as Canada now. Jeez.
Pretty much.
Wow.
But like everyone makes the same amount of money. Like everyone's happy with what they do. Like
Yeah.
no one's.
Were they doing the 4-day work week?
Oh, it's a tough question. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if they were either, but I think it was Norway or something was doing the 4-day work week, which is awesome. Like that'd be sweet. And then I guess really you could watch more golf. It'd be great.
In the summer, the winters suck there, but
yeah, it'd be kind of like the same here. So what's brought you back to this point? We're dealing with another injury now.
Yeah, I was in California, grinding away, probably grinding a little bit too much. Overdid some swing changes that I was working on, and I almost blew out my lower back, but I caught it at the right time. So
Good.
A little bit of rehab the last month and a half, 2 months. Kind of took almost a full month off golf, which I haven't done in God knows 5-6 years.
Like off completely. Like I know you got the lab at home, like we kind of joked about.
It was very tough to not go in my garage and hit balls, but I did it somewhat. I maybe chipped and putted a little bit, but that's about it.
So we were gonna try and do it in there, just maybe a little tight in there.
A little tight.
You're a pretty tall guy too, so when you're swinging, like there's not a lot of space.
No, it's a little anxiety ridden once you get past the 4-iron, but especially now, my dad put one of those swing plane things in there where you just sit on it and it teaches you how to swing. So taking driver back and looking at all the walls, it's a little bit sketchy, but
I know you had one too, like at a range you were somewhere and you like clipped you were like,
oh yeah, that was
so
that was a couple weeks, that was 2 weeks ago.
I feel like I would have a hard time being able to like sit in, I don't know, my garage and not be able to just like fully swing as hard as I want.
Like I can, you just have to trust it.
Yeah, you just
I've done it long, but when people come over and try to hit whatever 3-wood driver, they're like, oh God.
When I was in my basement, I'd put up the net, I'd put a mat down and stuff, but I wouldn't hit like much more than an 8-iron. I think I like tried to hit a 5-iron. I like ripped it in the duck, like into the duck work, and that was it. It was only like probably 8.5 or 9 feet. I probably like same type of thing, just trust it. But I know my buddy Kirk watches these episodes too sometimes, and like when we go to a simulator, he swings completely different inside because you're just like, you feel really closed in. I think people try to cut it off a little bit, and like for us too, a lot of us are used to that big like hockey kind of wind up too. So like when you're, I don't know, a lot of us that aren't pro golfers like Keaton here have like the idea of like we bring the club way back sometimes, way too far back sometimes.
Yeah, let's just say in the garage you don't want to swing very flat.
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't want to be the 2015 Ricky Fowler, that's for sure.
So we got Keaton here. You might recognize Keaton from the full wedge advertisements that are out right now. So
my modeling career started.
Keaton is a male model, which is pretty cool. I'm on a full wedge right now. We're doing a little bit of work with them, so we'll put a link in the show notes below, so you can go click Keaton's link and get yourself a little discount. But
I would be wearing all full wedge gear, but I've worn it since it dropped every day. So now it is in the wash for once. So
I thought about that on the way here. I was like, we're totally going to look like stepbrothers in this podcast, and we show up and we're wearing the exact same thing. But this is the Toronto drop, so you can go check it out. The link will be in the show notes below.
It's very nice. Very nice clothing.
And Keaton's the guy, the handsome guy with the mustache that you see in all the Toronto advertisements. So show him some love. Go check it out. We'll put the link. I think it's KV20 in the show notes below.
20 or 15. Either one may work.
So you might try 20. Try 20.
Try 20.
It's probably worth more. So
try
20.
Try 100.
Try 100 and see if that gets you anywhere. Put in a couple extra codes, and then if not, go with KV 20 or 15 or whatever it is. But Keaton, like, so you said you're going through an injury right now. So how does that process work for you? Like, you identified it pretty early. You were in Cali at the time?
Yeah, I was in California. I kind of figured out what was going on. I'm lucky I have a good team around me, so kind of came home, reset, figured out exactly what was going on, had a couple CTs or MRI, CT scan, see what was going on, see how bad my body is from years of abuse playing hockey. But it was kind of cool to see it. I've never really seen my back, but I did that. Started working with my good friends at Push Pounds, which is a very good clinic downtown Toronto. Well, they actually have like 4 now, but they are a very good sports medicine clinic, and my chiro guy, Darren, is the best. So he helped me through it. A lot of acupuncture, a lot of massage.
Is it kind of like where you're going? It's called Push Pounds. Is it an all-in-one shop? Like you're doing it all right on site?
Oh yeah, you can do everything. There's a gym there. There's whatever. You can do surgical services there if you need injections or small things. You can do physio. They got DEXA scans. They got everything.
That's sweet. I'm going through some elbow stuff right now. I've been going through it for a little while, so I think I need to see a little bit more sports-specific medicine.
For sure. It changes a lot of things.
Yeah. But so right now, obviously, Q schools and stuff are coming up. So are you feeling like you're back to the point of where you can start swinging a club again? I know we've seen a little bit of it.
Oh, yeah. The last week or so, I've ramped up practice-wise and started grinding how I usually grind. So it's been good. Body feels back to normal, if not better.
Good.
Been in the gym a lot, so stronger again, shredded, not fat anymore. So
yeah, I'm dealing with that. I said that to a few people lately. I get kind of fat in the winter, and then I
it's the hibernation.
I
start
walking
pounds.
that Port Hope Bridge a couple times, and it's just like it's gone a few weeks into the season. So
a little less beers in the summer. Well, for some people, but
at least for me, I'm walking. I'm playing golf. I'm walking. It's just like typically it comes off a little bit more. So hopefully, I hope so. That's probably not helping with like injuries and stuff like that either. But again, my game's on like a pretty casual level now. I'd like to take care of a couple things so I can win a bit more money at the club. But it's something that I definitely got to deal with. So
are we still at Port Hope? Are you still playing at Port Hope?
Still playing at Port Hope. Have you been out?
Not in the last 2 years since I had that TPT or Toronto Players Tour event there.
Yeah, so they've made some changes since that. I know there was some.
Those greens were nuts at one point.
They're still, so two of them are still number 14. So the par 5 down the water on the back is done. It's been completely changed. So that was the one where you went up, trees were on the left-hand side, everything fell off to the right.
Yeah.
And then you went into a tuck green on the back. So they've extended that 100 yards back. It was actually pretty cool. We had the group on us called Golf Shape Development. So the guy Mac, one of the guys working on the I guess restructuring, he came on the pod and like told us about it. It was really cool experience. And so now that's like 100 yards back or so, and everything's just kind of opened up. So more of a 3-shot hole.
Cool.
That was one that green was nasty. It probably still will be. 15's really tough, and so that's the next like par 4. It's like a 2-tier one with like a 1.5-foot drop off.
Yeah.
And if the pin's on the top, like if it's on the top, it's hard. If it's even like anywhere other than the bottom left, it's hard to even access it. And then the 12th one back by the houses.
Yeah.
That was the par 5 with the really nasty green where it falls off. So
I saw that rinse a lot of people.
There were a lot of issues with that one on that day. Because if they speed it up, like we have the Ontario Junior Match Play Championships there, so like it's glass. When they build it up, it's glass for those kids, which is torture. But when they get it going, like you put any bit of spin on that, like receiving, like you're better to hit a shot from 120 out than you are like, I don't know, 80 yards.
60, 80 yards,
60 yards, because like I just find it's really hard to like receive some of those. So I guess there is some work being done on that one eventually. They're relocating one of the first tee blocks, so a lot of work getting done. And it's right on the water, man. It's pretty sick.
Oh yeah.
I love like that part of it. But when you guys were there, it was like windy as hell, wasn't it? Like one of the days was pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
I know it was like Borg was like 1 under and everybody else was fighting it. It's a hard course, and it's not super long, but it's hard.
Yeah, it was tricky those 2 days. All I remember is whatever that par 3 was with the water behind it, that green was absolute concrete, and you had to land it about 30 yards short, and it would end up at the back of the green.
Yeah.
And then one of the holes, the green with the tier like back, and then it goes down, and then it goes up again.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. That one with the water behind it, I do have a hole in one on that hole.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I feel like I always have to announce that.
That's a skin.
Point. But yeah, that even a birdie wins some money on that day too, usually. So
birdies are good. Birdies work.
Yeah, it's not like none of the holes are easy. Like it's not a long course, but it's tough. We'll have to have you back out because
anytime.
I know.
Do a little home and home, pulp it, Port Hope.
I know you do a lot of content, so maybe we'll get you out there. We'll go for a bit of a walk, and we'll get your
little walk in the park.
Yeah, we'll get your thoughts on it because it's a fun track. It can beat you up though. It can definitely beat you up. But like if you're hitting it well and like rolling it well, like you can shoot well too.
That 18th hole is I don't remember what I hit, but all I remember is Borg hit a 8-iron, 6-iron in that green and won. So maybe that's the play.
I can definitely yeah, so
I'm not chirping you, Borgie. Don't worry.
you can't hit like driver from the tee. Like it's probably 280. The thing is, like if you land it at 260, like it'll hit the downslope.
Yeah, doesn't it go into a hazard?
Yeah, and there's a hazard there at probably between 280 and 300. So if you hit it well, it's jail, like it's gone.
Smell ya.
But I've always thought like there is space behind the other green that you hit up into. Like it'd be so fun to extend that back, because I think it would just make it a really challenging finishing hole. It's so beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like it's tree lined on both sides. It goes through. There's like a nice big green. There's 2 different ponds, and then you can see the water off in the back. But yeah, like there's so many times I've hit like 5-iron
Yeah.
into that, and then like there's a bit of a bailout zone in some areas, or like jail on the left hand side completely. If you go up the hill on the right, you can't even.
Yeah.
You can be
I
10
remember
yards,
that.
You can be 10 yards off the green in the rough on the right hand side and can't land it on the green. So it's a hard track, man. And I've never played pulpit, so I like that idea. I like a home and home. And
Somebody's got to come out to pulpit.
Yeah.
Best place on earth, baby.
yeah, it's. I know my buddy Anthony Spagnoli speaks pretty high of it. It's got probably the
What a
nicest
guy.
starting hole in Canada, I guess, pretty much. Or is that
Yeah.
pulpit or paintbrush?
Paintbrush's first hole is whatever. It's like a 5-iron wedge.
Okay.
Pulpit, 2 fairways, 1, I don't know. There's no real risk reward. Right side fairways, closer to the water.
Yeah.
Maybe have a little shorter in, but left side is wide. You can just blow it. It's a beautiful view. At the top of the tee box on one, and you're at the same level as the CN Tower.
Right. Okay.
Which
so
is cool.
That's what everybody speaks to. I've never like seen it personally, so I think that's like the view of it is like one of the best views of a starting hole
Oh, yeah.
to get like in Canadian golf.
On a sunny, clear day, you can see every skyline. You can see Toronto. You can see Markham. You can see Mississauga. Whatever. You can
I
see
love that, man.
other side. You can see over here.
So that's the home course for you.
Yeah.
Has it kind of always been that way for you?
Nope.
No.
I used to be at Bayview.
Okay.
Actually, shout out Bayview. They actually are having the U.S. Open local qualifier there this year, which I'm
Nice.
excited to go back. Haven't been back in 3 years since I joined Pulpit.
Are you gonna play in that one?
I am signed up for it.
Nice.
Hopefully, I think I got accepted, but I don't know. They're a little late to that this year, but that's
like
the plan. Hopefully, I have some home course advantage there. I have 8 course record there. I have 8 under. I don't think anyone's beaten that yet, but
Par 72, so 64.
yeah,
Okay.
64.
Whew, that's a good day.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, Bayview was a great course to grow up on. No range there, which was tough when I got older and turned pro, but that was one of the reasons I left. So
Right.
needed a better practice facility, which Pulpit has. But yeah, no complaints about Bayview. They're probably some of the best greens in the GTA when they're midsummer. Actually, if not the best, besides Pulpit. But yeah, they're very, very pure, very undulating, very tough if you're in the wrong side of the pin. But yeah, Pulpit's been great. Joined there. This will be my 3rd year there.
So is 64 your lowest round that you've had?
No, I shot 62 at Pulpit last year.
So I saw doing a little research. Sometimes
That
I do
was
a bit of
fun.
Research. There's a 65 in competition. Does that still stand?
Yeah, that's my low in competition, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so a day like I was gonna ask you about a 64, but if we can talk about a 62.
Oh boy.
Can you walk us through the day? Like,
Yeah, I don't think I felt very good teeing off, but if you get through the first couple holes at Pulpit, you're fine. I think I birdied 2, 4, 6, and 8, and I was playing good, and then I just balled out on the back 9, no bogeys. I think I birdied 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, eagled 18. I know that. I made like a putt from 40 feet off the green. I don't know how many birdies I just said, but if it added up to 10 under, then yeah, that's kind of what I did.
What, eight birdies, I guess, and I think that was it. Yeah, you had 4 on the front.
Yeah,
4 deep on the front, and then 4 deep until 18 on the
Yeah.
back. I think that sounded right.
8
Damn.
birdies and an eagle, or it was either 6 and 2 eagles. I don't remember if I eagled 8.
That's wild.
8's a pretty easy par 5 at Pulpit. It's like 460, but it plays about 510. You just gotta hit the fairway, and then you got a pretty easy shot into the green.
So do you find like playing there, Keaton, that it's like, is it helping your game like in preparation for playing more of like the qualifiers, the mini tour events that you're playing? Like, do you, obviously you said the range is there and stuff like that. I know Mikey and Ian are doing fittings there all the time. So do you find like that kind of helped you bring your game to like another level?
Yeah, you can't fake it around that course. Like if well, everyone's got bad days, and if you got bad days at Pulpit, it'll eat you up, especially if the course is how it usually is and it's showing its teeth, long rough, long fescue. Can't really miss a fairway. Well, fairways are generous out there, but greens are tricky. People hate the greens at Pulpit because they break the opposite way, because no one knows where the escarpment is, and the city. That's a trick at Pulpit and paintbrush, but
we know now.
Less at paintbrush. Can't give all my secrets away.
Don't believe it, but we.
But yeah, if it looks like it goes right to left and the city is over there or the escarpment's the other way, it'll probably fall right, even though it looks like it's going 6 feet left.
I love that. That's a good little piece.
Well, you love that until you don't.
Yeah.
Until you 4-putt.
Yeah, like putting is typically what saves my game. So any like little bit of help I can get, or like that's because I use I scrap it right now. Like my game is in a dark place, and I've been saying that for a while.
Been there.
I should try and do something about it. But so how does things look, Keaton, for this year? You're kind of coming off an injury. You're working through that. You're still working in the garage. You're still working in the lab, as we call it. Not as much work down south, but how does the preparation look for you? What are you kind of like looking forward to in the next, say, a couple of months or so?
Oh yeah, injuries hopefully behind me now, so I don't have to worry about that. Still got to do my due diligence and work on my body all the time, and utilize my team and chiro and physio and all that stuff. But next couple months, like I told you earlier, I'm going to Scotland for a little family. Well, my dad and my grandpa. My grandpa's a stick, and we want to bring him out to Scotland before he gets too old. But he will take on any player in the world and probably kick their ass.
Yeah, I love that, man. We were talking a little bit before we turned the cameras on about getting a mic on you or on him, so you can. I got 2 there. I might have to send you with the pack, so you can.
Might have to.
You can just stick it on him without knowing. Just tell him like.
I think I could make a YouTube just of him.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. He's 78 now, and I'm pretty sure he texted me. He's still in Palm Springs, but he texted me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I shot 67 the other day. We kicked everyone's ass, and I remember. Yeah, it was great." I was like, "Jeez, Jesus."
So.
And he wants me to give him 10 shots every time we play. He's an absolute sandbagging stick. But
don't play Grandpa Veillette.
No, don't play Papa Stu for money. I've learned that the hard way.
Oh man, that's tough.
Excited to go down to Scotland, play all the cool courses: St Andrews, New, Old, Carnoustie, Kings Barnes.
When are you heading down for that?
April 26 or 7.
Nice, and that's from when we're recording this, it'll be about a month away. So when we drop this, you'll be just a couple weeks out from that. That's sweet. That's just going to be a casual trip.
Casual.
Bringing
just
the
hanging
sticks,
out,
having a good time, having some beers with the family.
Enjoying St. Andrews. We're staying in St. Andrews, so.
That's amazing.
Never been over there. Very excited. As you can see, I can't stop talking about it. But
what an experience, though. So we're going to play, like, obviously, Kings Barnes, St. Andrews, any other. Are you doing Carnoustie?
Yeah, Carnoustie. Well, we have a bid in for the old course every day. I think that's how they do it now. But whatever day we get it, we'll play it. We got a tee time at the new course, tee time at Kings Barnes, Carnoustie, and then there's Dunbarton or something.
Yeah.
Something of that sort.
I'm mixing up with Dunderave right now.
I know. I was about to say Dunderave.
It's not Dunderave. It's definitely.
I can look it up quick. I don't like being on my phone while talking. But
how long are you guys going for?
The 27th to here. Yeah. Okay. We get there 26th. We play Dumbarnie. That's
Dumbarnie,
it.
okay.
Dumbarnie. and then Old Course, Carnoustie, New Course, and Kings Barnes, and then leave the 4th.
What a trip, man.
Yeah. So excited about that. And then I get back to 4th, and then I have pretty much feels like an event every day after that.
Yeah. Are
Because
you doing TPT? So when I say TPT, Toronto Players Tour? Or
yeah, I think I get back to 4th. The first Toronto Players event is the 6th to 7th, and then the U.S. Open qualifier at Bayview's the 8th. So it's like back to back to back, which is nice. And I'll be out playing golf, which will be good as practice and prep.
Yeah.
And then RBC Canadian Open pre-qual or local qual, which hopefully I win this year like I almost did last year and get right into the Canadian Open. That'd be cool. And then, yeah, a couple mini tour events, and then Q School hopefully beginning of June for PGA Americas. And then I'm thinking about going out to Europe and playing some challenge tour events, hopefully.
Yeah. When we had Craig Stefarak out, he went out there last year. I think no, Mark Casulo went out to.
Casulo did.
He was doing the DP World Tour.
He did Q School.
Q School with you, right? Yeah.
Seb did Sebastian Zermack did Q School. He got status. He was the only Canadian to get status.
Yeah.
Made it to final stage. But I did DP World Q School in Sweden last year again, and then I was down there and then got into a challenge event out in Switzerland, which was awesome.
Yeah, he loved that tour. He thought it was like run really well.
Oh, it's
like that
amazing.
Just the way like it was put together, like not that the Canadian Tour or PGA Tour Americas and stuff like that aren't great. He just I think he was almost surprised at the quality of an event that they put
Oh
on.
yeah, it's the Corn Ferry of Europe. So
Yeah,
whatever you
cool.
think of Corn Ferry, then that's pretty much what you get in all challenge events.
So for the schedule, when we take it back to the U.S. Open qualifier, will you have time to try and get out to Bayview before?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I've played there probably 700 times, but it is
Yeah.
always nice to have a little refresher before an event.
For sure. Because you get back, you said the 4th, was it?
Yeah.
And then that one's on the 6th and 7th?
8th, I believe.
Okay, so we got a couple days to try and get out there.
Might have to set that up now, thinking of it, even though nothing's
It's kind of
open.
hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard because you like our course is opening up next Friday.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw
this
that
coming
on
Friday.
Flagstick
Yeah.
Golf's calendar thing that he put out on Instagram. He put all the Eastern golf courses
Oh, really?
opening, yeah.
Yeah, we're opening up, so we're in a little bit of like a solar blanket almost because it's right by the water.
That's nice.
And so when you look out at the water at the end of March or early April, it's like teal. It looks like you're in like Turks.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Huh.
And it's just like this like little hot zone, or when I say hot, it just means that the water is warmer than the ground.
Yeah.
So it keeps the course like in good shape all
Huh.
winter. So the only problem with that is sometimes you have to close a little bit earlier in preparation, I guess, or at least that's what Corey tells us. I don't know. So,
Look at you, Mr. Superintendent.
yeah, I know. So I don't know. Jeff is like, he knows what's going on. He keeps the course in good shape. It's a good little spot. So I just like can't wait to play, man. Get to be
Yeah,
I'll have at least 3 rounds in by the time we drop this one, if not more. So
I got the itch now, even though I always have the itch, but
yeah.
during an injury it's tough because you just want to go play, or, well, you can't here, but rather be in the warm weather than cold, even though it's not that cold now. But
So when we're doing the TPT events, Keaton, can you kind of like walk us through what that setup looks like for you, like getting prepared for an event like that? Like maybe even if you just take us through like the day of the event, or if it's just a 1 or 2 day.
yeah, well, usually in years past, the last couple of years since COVID, since I started, it was kind of all the same courses, so we kind of knew what we were getting into. But this year the schedule actually looks pretty good, so I'm excited about that. Play some new courses, but yeah, usually drive up the day before wherever the event is, play a practice round, or go drive the course, see it, practice a little bit, chip putt, because that's the most important thing. And then usually stay with a bunch of guys that are playing the event, whether it's buddies or whoever, split the costs, make it reasonable.
Right.
And then wake up, do some body work, get the body primed up, go to the course, hour and a bit early, putt, chip, hit some balls, get the mind right, and kind of tee off and see what you got for that day.
See how it goes for that day. Take whatever you have on the range to the course, right?
Pretty much. And if that goes wrong, then you go into plan B and just keep the ball in front of you.
When things aren't going right for you one day, what do you do?
Hope.
Asking for a friend? Do I say that? Like
Pray.
Do people still say that?
Pray and
Yeah.
hope. No, all the years past, I've dealt with a bunch of injuries and driver woes. Driver used to be my best club and my weapon. Then I had shoulder surgery and nerve damage and certain things that
Right.
went on, and I kind of got the driver yips, per se. Don't ever say that word, but I said it. But yeah, I kind of either take your medicine and hit irons off the tee or hit 3-wood or whatever you're comfortable with. You just got to get it and play.
Just some course management, I guess, right? Like it's
Which I've now learned. I used to be stubborn and still trying to fix things on the course, which don't ever do that.
Yeah. Do you follow like Decade or anything like that?
Yeah, I do my decade. I done it for however long, couple
Do you
years.
get into like the course plotting like the night before?
Yeah.
This is something that we went through with like Vim. Do you know Vim? Like Big Vim, like Zach Viminitz?
Oh yeah.
He's
yeah.
down in Orlando.
Yeah.
My Big Vim. I just know he's not built like a golfer. He's like an absolute unit, that guy. But
Brick
we're-
shithouse.
He's fucking huge, man. We were kind of talking about it. He's really good buddies with Bryce, and so we had never had, we're 100 episodes in or 70 episodes in, and he mentioned like, yeah, I'll go through like the night before, a couple nights before, I'll get on the Google Maps and kind of plot things out.
Yeah.
And like that was foreign to us. That was such a cool experience, I thought, because you're just like kind of able to see the course and almost give yourself like an advantage that a lot of people might not do. I think a lot,
Everyone
it's
does.
obviously out
Yeah.
there, everybody's doing it now, but is that part of your prep, like
Oh,
working
yeah.
with that, with Decade, those types of things?
Yeah, even like the week before, if I know what course I'm playing, well, you know what course you're playing, but
Yeah.
look on whatever 18 birdies, see the layout of the course, see some of the holes, see what holes stick out to you as harder or more demanding, and then kind of keep those in your mind. And then after you play a practice round, write some notes down, see what fits your eye, see what doesn't fit your eye, where you need to be cautious, hazards, all that stuff, greens where you don't want to putt from, whether it's
Right.
above the hole or below the hole. Well, below the hole is usually always good, but yeah, stuff like that. And the night before, kind of do a little refresher.
So that would be like the idea, though, is you're kind of going through it and finding spots to hit it. Or that's like the Decade philosophy, really, is like it's just explaining where like to not put yourself.
It's all
in jail.
dispersion,
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, exactly.
If you
right?
know
So-
your dispersion, then you know where to aim. Like if your dispersion with a, whatever, 9-8 iron is 12 yards, say that's pretty good. Like 6 yards on either side, which is 18 feet.
Right.
I think that's tour average for most 8 irons, maybe 21 feet. But yeah, if you know that, and you know that 7 or 8 out of 10 times you'll hit it within that dispersion, it makes it somewhat easy to aim.
Well, yeah, because when we were kind of talking about it, it was almost like an idea of like where your bailout is, right? So if you're hitting a certain shot all day and you're hitting a bit more of like a push or a bit of a fade or something like that, you can kind of like set that up. And we were talking with Cam Kellett about that a lot, and he went into like great detail about the idea of like where you can find your placement on, when you're kind of like plotting out, like going through each green and stuff like that, and then you're knowing, okay, like this is a spot where I can afford to hit it, or
Yeah.
you might have to just kind of take your medicine and you might be putting from 30 feet or 40 feet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just based on like kind of what you're bringing to the course on that day. I always find that kind of fascinating, and that approach that different pros kind of bring to the game is pretty cool. It's something that like, before we had that conversation, I knew about Decade, like the Scott Fawcett theory and stuff like that. Like, kind of had an idea about that, but I didn't know about like getting deeper into like routing and stuff like that, which is kind of cool, and like mapping out courses the night before. And
Yeah, and then you can get technical, and then it's like if there's a hazard, like a bunker or water, obviously, say the pin is tucked or more towards that, then you add however many yards depending on your yardage,
Do you
right or
like-
left.
Do you like that part of the game? Like, do you like the like technical aspects of the game, or like I know like you're like Joel Damon, he like leaves that completely up to Gino, like doesn't really want much, like input on that. Some guys don't really love that, and then you hear of like other guys who are absolute like Bryson, who's like an absolute like
Nerd.
nutso for like a nerd for like knowing exactly what his yardages are and where he wants to put the ball and stuff like that. Or you?
I would say I'm less of that. I've gotten more into that. I guess when I was playing my best golf, when I was a little bit younger. I was kind of unaware of my, not unaware of my surroundings, but unaware of the bad things that could go on. I now know of all the bad things that can go on a golf course or a golfing hole. So I'm a lot more aware of that, which is good and bad in a sense.
Yeah.
But I know my yardages very well. I have a very good idea. I practice hard enough to know and dial that in well enough.
Well, we got the lab, right? You got the lab at home. You can kind of go through that. So
I got that lab, and I got Pulpit's lab. And in the summer, if you can't find me, I'm usually on the range or on the course there. So
do you work with a caddy at all?
if I play a bigger event, then I'm usually have a caddy, like the challenge event. Oh, people are walking in.
Come on in, guys. It's the mics don't really pick it up. You guys can just go ahead and play. Yeah, we're just doing a podcast here. So,
oh
yeah. So feel free to talk. These don't really pick it up too much. Super organic. We won't. Hopefully, we don't bother you guys.
Are you guys famous yet or what?
Maybe Keaton will be soon.
Hopefully, that's the plan.
That's the.
For golf or podcast?
No, for male stripping. No, yeah, for golf.
Yeah. Yeah, don't start stripping here. Keaton's an aspiring male model, though.
Yeah.
So hopefully one day we're gonna get there. But
Just another pro golfer here. That's about it.
just another one of the pro golfers, man.
Just another idiot who likes this game way too much.
Chasing the dream, right? But
I want that in the podcast. That was funny.
yeah, this is we keep it pretty organic, so you guys will be in there. My name's Mac. This is Keaton. Guys, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. So.
What was I saying?
So we were saying if you're going into an event or you're trying to work with a caddy to take a little bit of that off of you.
Yeah, bigger events I do have a caddy or try to have a caddy. Like the challenge event, I had a caddy. Beauty of a guy. He was they got me him at all the challenge events. If you don't bring your own caddy, they have people who volunteer and want to help people out and walk the course. So he was a beauty. He was like a 65-year-old guy. That was his course in Switzerland, so he played there all the time. He was like a world Olympic handball champion, which was cool. Just absolute weapon. But yeah, it's always nice to have a caddy, talk through stuff, even if they don't speak your language.
I've gone through a couple of usually I'll caddy for Ziggy, or I've caddied for Jake McNulty. Do you know Jake by chance?
Yeah.
Caddy with him a few years ago. That was COVID year, I think. So I've done probably 4 or 5 years, I don't know, something like that at the Osprey Valley event. And I love it, man.
I love caddying too.
It's so great. We had this other guy's last name was Vic. I think his name was Tyler Vic. Does that ring a bell? Redhead guy.
Travis Vic?
Travis Vic.
Maybe.
Does that make sense? So, and his brother was on the bag too.
Not Michael Vick?
Not Michael Vick. Not Michael Vick, but Travis Vick. And his short game was world class. So he played in the U.S. Open. He actually played in so when we're recording this right now, the Houston Open's going on right now. He had played in that recently. Just had absolutely nothing off the tee. He was so frustrated with this, but he ended up shooting even or 1 under, man. It was the craziest display of short game.
Just scrap it around.
The shots that he was hitting, from, he'd be hitting his approach shot. He'd be 30 yards off the green. He'd hit it to 2 feet, every time, man. And it was so.
That works.
It was 2 days of that, so it was not something that was just a fluke. He wasn't just having a good day. But Ziggy, man, Ziggy hit, what is there, 14? I think there was
probably
14.
hit every fairway, every green.
Every single fairway. He hit every green. And we had 1 bogey, 3 putt.
A couple 3 putts.
And 1 birdie. And we played even par. And we were saying, shit, man, could you imagine, these two guys put their game together? And, if Ziggy hit it off the tee for Travis on that day, they would have shot 54. It's it was an unbelievable. The variance between the two groups was crazy. But
oh, Ziggy.
Yeah. So Ziggy's, such a good guy, man. But we get to the 14th hole. And he was like, what are you doing afterwards? And Ziggy and I started talking about chicken wings. We were he was like, I want chicken wings. So I'm walking, I'm carrying the bag. I'm a big water guy. I'm making sure he's hydrated. I'm doing the best for him. And I was looking up chicken wing places. So we got this other guy, can't remember what his name was, but we all just start talking about wings, and like that dominated the last like 5 holes.
Oh yeah.
Nobody was making the cut. Unfortunately, we had to go we would have had to go 5 deep in the last 5 or more to get there. Guys went pretty low at Osprey Valley that weekend.
Yep.
So
Always do.
it was not there, unfortunately, but man, it was unbelievable that we that like just the experience, just to have fun, like shooting the shit with these guys who are some of the best players like in Canada or the world, really. Like we talk about the difference between like where golfers are to like when we had that chat with Craig Stafferack, we were saying like the difference between like maybe where your game is right now, Keaton, and where the top players in the world is like so tight.
Yeah.
It's not that far. It's
No.
really, really pretty close.
No, everyone's got the game now. It's just who has it for that day, if
Who
it's a
can execute,
qualifier, or who has it for that 4 days of event.
Yeah.
And if you can put it together, then there you go. You can make some decent money.
So if you don't have it and you want somebody to distract you and find the best chicken wing place,
That's your guy.
this is the guy right here. It's like just down. I think it was like highway. I don't know, whatever.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, it's like 10 minutes away. It's like this little pit stop. You can hop in there.
Well,
So
Pulpit's right beside Osprey. I know that place very well. I think it was it's 6 wings.
6 wings. That's
Oh
what it
yeah.
was. Yeah, man, it was so good. Yeah.
Damn right.
Oh man. So anyway, Ziggy will love this. I gotta clip this part for Ziggy. He'll
Yeah.
absolutely love this part.
Sponsorship by 6 Wings
Yeah.
coming at you very soon.
You throw a couple of the boys some wings from like the Osprey Valley event, and that place will be on fire all weekend. It'll just be like
Sure.
it would be great, man. It'd be awesome. But
But no, caddying, I enjoy caddying too. If I caddy for buddies, I find it makes me better. I think I'm a better caddy for other people than for myself half the time. Well, most of the time.
so do you think it's just because you're able to like? That was kind of where I was framing the question from. Like, can you like remove?
It's because I'm stubborn.
You can like remove yourself from the game at that point. And,
Yeah.
You know, you can tell like your buddy or whoever you're caddying for like what. If you know their game, you can tell them like what they can do or maybe can't do.
Yeah. Like I know if I caddy for buddies, I know what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are already, usually, unless I don't know them, but I always usually do. But I think I can do everything on a golf course, even if it's not going my way. So I try to do stupid stuff half the time, and then it never pans out the way I want to.
That's definitely my problem. Is like, I've hit the shot that's in my mind once or twice. Or
And you're like, oh yeah, let's try it.
Maybe I've hit this shot 50 times in my life out of like 10 million golf balls, and I'm like, oh, like this is going to be the time I'm gonna hit it, and it's just never there.
Never.
It's never gonna be bad.
Never is.
And
But the one time you do it, it feels
so
unbelievable.
good, man, especially if it's on like camera or something like that. So I remember like filming the hole. I almost hit a bird, like almost like Randy Johnson. Like I just missed a bird in the air, and that was the hole before I made the hole in one. I was walking back, and I was with another guy like that was playing there, and I was like, shit, I forgot like my phone or whatever, and I was like, it's like a 90-yard walk back to the tee. I was like, forget it. Of course, I made a hole in one, man. The worst feeling.
That actually happened to me 2 years ago in Florida. I was playing the Ritz with a good buddy of mine and another good buddy of mine. I think I filmed every golf shot up until, was it 12th hole at Ritz? This is par 3. Yeah, I think it was 12 or 13. Yeah, 12. Filmed every single shot, like drive, approach, putting. I don't know why. I don't know what I was trying to do. Then get to 12, decide not to put my camera up, and then jar one for my 4th hole in one on the fly. Second one on the fly too.
That's wild.
And yeah, I was happy.
It's not something
I was happy, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like having like that on camera. I remember like VJ Singh making one of those and just dunked it, just absolutely dunked it, and it was like one of the coolest things you see. Like I think Nyman made one a couple weeks ago from like it was an eagle, but just like when you just see the ball disappear into the cup and then it's just gone, just hits the pin, just stays in. But
yeah, my first ever hole in one was a dunk from 190, and then my 4th was a dunk from 190. And then I had my 5th last year at Victoriaville.
At Victoriaville?
And for Canada Cup, well, it was a practice round, but yeah.
Oh, actually, I remember. I think we like talked about that shortly after because Bryce and I like to lay claim. Like Vim got one right after we had the pod. We've had a few people. Our friend Jake was just on the pod and just had one. we've had like 5 people who just happen to have a hole in one. Like we talked to a lot of really good golfers.
Well, let's get my 6th now.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's where it comes from. Like maybe it'll be one of the guys over here. Who knows?
Yeah, if
But
someone jars one across here in the simulator, that would.
we like to speak them into existence. if you
Someone's
will.
buying a lottery ticket tonight.
Keaton, how you doing for time? You got maybe 10 more minutes.
I
or so?
got no rush. I got
Doing
nothing
okay?
to do.
All right.
It is.
I
It
don't
is
even know
end of March. I got nothing to do.
I don't even know how long we have to be. I think we got 1 more hour, but can we before we kind of wrap up, can we talk about like Keaton off the course a little bit? You know, some of the things that you do when you're kind of away, like you've had some downtime from golf, but maybe some of the things that you get into, like when you're not playing golf, when you're not practicing. It sounds like you're in the lab quite a bit, but
Yeah.
you know, what else you got going on in life right now?
I don't know. Well, I got a girlfriend now again, so that's great. It's been great. Hanging out with my friends a lot. Got a good, close-knit group of friends, which keep me occupied and keep me in the right mindset. I like cooking. Cook a lot.
What's Keaton's also a male model. You're just being super modest. But we
No.
have our first male model on here. You're a male and you're a model, man. You modeled for like you're now a professional.
I wore a sweater, and I got pictures taken of me.
So you like when you decide to that first time you like go out and play golf for money or whatever, you become a professional. You're a professional male model now. I love
Fine. Well, I didn't get paid for it, but yeah, it's not a professional.
that. So we still in the amateur status, I guess, but we're working on it. So if you're looking for somebody, great mustache, fashionable guy, he's your guy.
I'll try.
So what's your favorite dish? What do you like to cook?
Depends. I used to take, fun fact, I used to take cooking classes when I was like 10 to 14, so
Like on MasterChef Junior or something?
pretty much.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that.
love cooking.
Food Network might be my favorite.
I love like Chef's Table and stuff like that. A good buddy of mine, his name's Mike McKay, but we call him Chef. So
Yeah, Chef.
I always it's always just Chef. So I love cooking. Like I love barbecuing. Like I get pretty deep into cooking. That's what I'm asking. I think it's hard to like pick your favorite meal though. That's
I want to get into smoking more. Not
Yeah.
smoking, but smoking meat more.
Yeah.
If that doesn't sound wrong.
I think I know where you're going with that. Again, my buddy Kirk, who listens to these, he's got a Traeger. A couple of them get pretty deep into that. It's like, it's a whole world of. We were talking about picking up some wings and putting them in the smoker before the Leaf game tonight. So that was kind of the
Now we're
idea.
talking.
Yeah. So it's yeah. I think if I had to like pick my favorite meal though, it'd have to be like something like chicken vindaloo or something like that, or like some type of vindaloo or something.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now we're getting technical.
Yeah, because I would say like steak and lobster for sure, but yeah, I think.
I love making a good steak. Really good cut of steak. If you don't screw it up, it's really good. You don't really need much on it. It just melts in your mouth. I don't know. Big stir fry guy.
Yeah.
Love making good stir fry.
So if you wrap up something and it's not 6 wings because it's close, when you're wrapping up a tournament, you want to go and have like a little, maybe you're having a celebratory meal. What are you typically going to?
Oh,
What are the guys going to?
I don't know. That's tough. It depends where you are. Some of the small towns don't have much going on.
I guess that's true. And when you think of
If you're out in Timmins, Ontario, they don't got a keg or anything going
Yeah.
on over there.
shout out to Timmins, Ontario, but
Oh, wow. That's not annoying.
oh, that's perfect for the pod. But we have like I think there's like a what is the hot and ready Little Caesars. There's like a Little Caesars next door. So
Hot and ready.
Yeah, the hot and ready. But
Oh, I haven't had a Little Caesars in
it's been
15
It's
years.
been a little while for me too. But so Keaton, before we wrap up, when you're traveling with some of the guys, like who are some of the guys that you typically travel with? Do you have a bit of a group?
Yeah, got a good crew. Hello over there. Yeah, I've got good buddies out there. My one good buddy, Zach Mason, who's now pro. He went to school at Eastern Michigan. Actually, all the Eastern Michigan guys I grew up with. And now we all travel together, even though I'm the only kid who didn't go to school. So I've kind of done it.
That. Yeah,
Kind of did it my own way, but now I hang out with all these college kids.
we were saying like we've had Michael Blair, Jake McNulty. They're closer to my age. Maybe Michael Blair's a little bit younger.
Well,
but
they went to Eastern. No, Blair didn't. McNulty did.
Blair transferred there.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
they all went to
there
Eastern.
Maybe for like a year, and then
Shout out Eastern.
yeah, Ty Saloni. So we were like, we're
Yeah.
gonna make like an Eastern podcast. So I
God.
was talking to Coog, I know you golf with Coog quite a bit. We messaged a little bit. Got to get him on.
Yeah, so Zach, Coog, Ty.
Is it Zach Sadinsky?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
done now. He lives in Texas. Bye, Suds. You never
Yeah.
said bye to me. Now I'm pissed.
So I think we've had 5 or 6 on now. So we're pretty much an EMU pod.
Pretty much.
Cam Kellett too. Sorry. Cam's there right now.
Yeah,
So-
he still goes to school.
and they just got the like state-of-the-art practice facilities too. So Cam's like an absolute stick. He's such a good guy.
And now all the boys hate that because that wasn't there when they were there.
Yeah, that'd be hard,
But that usually happens. So
hopefully some alumni access or something. Those guys are the guys who paved the way to be able to get that type of thing. Right?
pretty
So-
much, yeah. But yeah, I travel with Zach, Mason, Ty, Salone, and Coog. I got Coog out of Canada. Brought him to Spain last year, or I guess in December.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
November to December. So that was fun to see the Coog out abroad. That was interesting.
He's got some game, man. I remember like
Oh, he's a baller, man.
I've only
The amount of money I've lost to him at Pulpit now that he's a member is absurd.
it's unfair.
Actually, we've had a lot of good matches, but
Yeah.
it's not my favorite activity, giving him money or transferring him money.
He's got some game though, man. We'll have to have him on, or maybe we'll bring the gear out to Pulpit one day
How about we do that? Because
Yeah.
it's a hell of a better view than sitting behind a simulator.
with the little Caesars on the other side of us. But,
Not chirping uptown, but
No,
Pulpit's a better view.
it's yeah, we'll have to get it out on the first tee or something like that. My goal this year is we're gonna get out onto like Port Hope with the water behind us. We're gonna get some good pods going out there, some beers
Done.
and stuff like that. So
Done
I think
deal.
that'll be pretty easy to set up for
I
sure.
want in on all that.
Yeah, but maybe we'll get one going out there. Or we'll get some content going out there. I just got a gimbal. I don't know if you've ever seen these
Yeah.
things, but man, they're wild. They're crazy. So maybe we'll follow the match around one day. We'll get a heated match.
You
going.
might have a lot of bleeps in there.
Yeah, that's okay.
If
That's
it's
all right.
explicit, it'll be. Might have to put that on OnlyFans. I don't know if
Yeah, we'll have to-
Instagram
we'll
or
have to
TikTok
find-
will like that.
What's that other platform? Like Bob Menery is always talking Rumble or something.
Oh
like that, one
yeah,
of those
get
ones.
me on Rumble. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll figure that out. But man, Keaton, I really appreciate you driving over, man.
Of course.
It's fine. Maybe we'll hit a couple balls here. We got a
Sure.
lot of shit to tear down, but
Yeah, it's fine.
it's I appreciate you taking the trip out. I know you got a lot coming up this season with the qualifiers and stuff like that. Maybe I'll come carry the bag for you one day.
I would absolutely love that. We can talk about chicken wings.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks, dude. Oh boy, Mike.
Oh, why so awkward? We started this with Mark, who you know. I did like the big dog at the end of the pod.
Oh, the ways.
We had to like reach over. Luckily, Mark's 6'9" and could reach it, but
Yeah, he came over and dropped stuff off to me, and I was like, "Whoa!"
yeah, I did not expect that.
I'm
yeah.
like, "You're a big boy.
Yeah,
you
he's a
big
guy,
boy."
man. So we sat in this exact same booth. So shout out to Wave too. But
Yeah, go wave. I
Yeah.
didn't wear your hat. I'm sorry, but this is my favorite hat from California. It's a bakery, so.
Keaton, man, all the best this season, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.